So apparently, this is how the game starts. No intro cutscene, no nothing. I imagine that once you make a save file, you still get to see like Belga or Palkia, depending on the version you have. But if you just start up the game and ask for a language and then throws you right into this, welcome everybody to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. You might be saying, but hey, you don't have a Switch, do you? You always complain about not having a Nintendo Switch. Well, if you've seen the title of this video, which I came up with this title and I'm going to use it because it's not even clickbait. It is true. I bought a Nintendo Switch to play a game I finished 15 fucking years ago. And honestly, it's kind of sad. It kind of is. But this is the thing that made me buy it. I do know that Legends of Arceus is being released like in a couple of months as well, which I'm equally hyped for. And then there's Mario Odyssey, which I want to play, and there's a lot of other games that I want to play as well. So I figured now is the time. It's Black Friday, so this is when I'm gonna finally buy this thing. So I finally did. And the first thing that I'm playing on it is a game that I finished 15 years ago, and it's actually kind of really sad. Anyway, what is your name? I decided that we're going to go with for naming going forward. I've been naming myself Vlogger still, but that's not the channel name anymore. So we're gonna go for TGC, the Gameplay Cave, or the Game Dev Cave, the Gaming Caves, as the entire thing is called now. So TGC is my name going forward. You can still call me Vlogger, I'll still answer to that, because calling me TGC as like a human name is stupid. So, this boy, I believe he's a friend. I do not think so, sir. I do not think so. We're just going to call him Barry. I do not yet have a Pro Controller, so I'm actually using like the Joy-Cons put on the plastic thing, and it's actually the fucking worst controller I've ever seen. I've used an N64 controller before, and this is worse. It's always Nintendo making the bad controllers. Nintendo's made also one of the best controllers ever, which is the GameCube controller. I still think the DualShock controller is literally perfection. I know people prefer Xbox controllers, I disagree. Anyway, as for the rules of this series, right? Because that is gonna be relevant here in a moment. Is this gonna be a Nuzlocke? No, I wanna do this casually, but I also don't wanna do it so casually that I have the exact same team throughout the entire game. So what we're going to do is I'm going to limit myself to the first capture ever out, just like I like the chibi. I know that people hated it, at least when the first trailers for this game dropped, people hated the chibi art style. To those people I said, have you played the original games? The heads in that were fucking massive. I like this music. Oh, this is actually giving me the chills. This is nostalgia incarnate. So, to prevent things from getting stale, I'm going to keep the first encounter rule from the Nuzlocks. First encounter per route is what I get for that route capture. Do I mess it up? I don't get another chance. It's just going to be that easy. I will not be using death in this series. Mostly because I just want to have a casual fun playthrough and re-experience my childhood, while also keeping it somewhat interesting. So, to prevent the entire team from staying the exact same throughout the... Oh, look at the little one-leg walking animation. That is so fucking good. Oh, that's adorable. Anyway, I'm going to have the added rule that after every single gym, I have to change out from my party at least one Pokemon. Meaning that I can't use that Pokemon at least until the next gym. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to go about making this work, right? Because ideally, I'd say I just offer up one Pokemon after every gym. Just kill one Pokemon off. Don't really want to do that. But I do think that, that putting at least one Pokemon in the box after every single gym does make a certain amount of sense for variety's sake. I'm not entirely sure, again, how I'm going to implement these rules. I want things to be a little bit more dynamic, and probably the way it's going to go, it's going to be fairly dynamic anyway, because I want to experience all these Pokemon like I did in the past, and I really fucking want my running shoes, mate. That's the first thing that I'm... Hold on. Where's my hat? We're supposed to have a hat, aren't we? Hold the fucking phone for a moment here. Well, literally, I'm going to look this up on my phone in a moment, but I am fairly certain that the Sinnoh character is supposed to hold a hat on it. Where's my hat? I want my hat. It's supposed to be an authentic remake. Come on, give me my hat. So I do wonder, I have not looked up any spoilers for this whatsoever, and I plan to keep it that way. Because unlike when Sword and Shield were released and I didn't have a Switch, so I just watched a Let's Play to more or less experience the game secondhand, but still I experienced it. This time I'm actually playing through it, and oh my god, I love this art style. Also, I need to play Super Mystery Dungeon now, or not Super Mystery Dungeon, it's Mystery Dungeon, like Explorers DX or something. There's so many games I want to play, like, I probably need like $1,000 just to play all those games. Oh, that's not good. That's very not good, because fucking, I've been used to PC Master Race prices for so long, right? You just, even if you buy something full price on Steam, it's still fairly cheap, like 40, 50 euros at most, generally. Console prices are just higher. Like, these games, like this one is 60 euros. That's fucking insane. Because every like full price release is 60 instead of like 40 or 50, and it's and then there's the fact that there's way less sales. Okay, so what starter are we gonna go with is the question. Seeing as how this is a casual childhood reliving nostalgia-filled playthrough, I'm gonna go with Chimchar. Is that a stupid decision? Yes, it is. But Chimchar is what I did when I was a kid, and Chimchar is what I'll do now. Literally, either other would have been a better idea for the first gym. That being said, this one will work decently for the first gym, and very well for the second gym. So, we start off with a Starly fight, and oh my god, hearing... It's not even seeing these models, like these 3D models of these Pokemon and this game that I know and love so fucking much. That's not even it, because I've seen most 3D models. I'm used to seeing Pokemon in 3D models now. Seeing them in sprites kind of feels off at this point. Going back to Gen 3, Gen 4, seeing the sprites, they still look good, I still love them, but it looks just a little off. This is the way that now when I think about Pokemon in my mind, I think about the 3D models. Is that partly because over the past like year and a half I've been like learning and doing a lot of 3D modeling myself? Perhaps. But this is the way I imagine Pokemon in my head right now. The Pokemon themselves, not necessarily the overworld. Funnily enough, when I think about the overworld in Pokemon, I still think in sprites, but when I think about the creatures themselves, I very much think about their 3D models. So that's not what's like getting to me, like emotionally. What's getting to me is hearing the remastered versions of these musical tracks, because those skip straight past my ears right into my childhood, like somewhere deep inside my heart is where that hits me. So go ahead. I know you have to return these Pokemon. No, we're just gonna steal them. I still want my running shoes. I think you get the running shoes after the tutorial ends, right? You get them from your mum. I'm also looking at my capturing screen just because I am capturing this in 4K for reasons unknown to any living human being, because this is running at 900p. But I'm just too lazy to set up a second recording setup, so I'm just capturing this in 4K, and who knows, maybe I could technically maybe upscale it. I think I have an upscaling plugin. Do I? I might not have bought that one. I bought a lot of plugins through Black Friday sales for Adobe Premiere and After Effects, like a lot. There was this pack that was like 99% off. It was a little bit false advertising, to be honest, because it was 98% off, unless you get 2 of them, and then the second one was 99% off. The pack total there was like $8,500, and it was priced down to like 300 something. I think 400 something. I don't know. And then I got a honey coupon as well. This video is sponsored by nobody. So I don't exactly know what was in that pack. I just know there was a lot of things in that pack. So do I have running shoes! I can actually run now. The biggest issue with Gen 4 has been solved. The running speed is actually not horrible. Holy crap. I still don't have a hat. Wait, is running a toggle? No, I'm just always running now. Am I? Oh no, if I want to walk, I just need to be very careful with my Joy-Con. That's why I need a Pro Controller, because Joy-Cons kind of suck. I didn't even step into that grass. This, by the way, does not count yet, because I don't have Pokeballs. The quote-unquote Nuzlocke without death, starts when I get Pokeballs. Another thing that I notice is that, in one respect, this is definitely not a faithful remake. I mean, there's probably going to be more aspects where it's not going to be 100% faithful, but it's probably going to be fairly close. And that is that we have the modern experience mechanic of just like having a built-in EXP share always active. And while I don't mind that, because I'm just casually playing through this, and the less grinding I have to do for this Let's Play series, the happier I am, generally. So, that's fine. I still don't like the idea that Game Freak, this is not developed by Game Freak, but that the Pokemon Company, whoever decided this, right, decided that you shouldn't give the player the option for that. I didn't mind in Gen 6, I think, when they changed the EXP share from working on a single Pokemon as a held item back to the way it worked in Gen 1, which was the EXP all. Just a little bit more powerful, because I think the EXP all spread it over your entire team and didn't duplicate the experience, so it was a lot more balanced. I didn't mind when it became a EXP all on steroids, because you could still turn it off for things like Nuzlocke. Chimchar's nickname, we're still going to nickname everything though. Chimchar's nickname shall be Ralph, with a capital R. Why Ralph? Because literally R was the first letter that I looked onto, and I've been watching a lot of TikTok, and for some reason things about WandaVision came up, so Ralph, you know, the guy everybody was so annoyed at, but probably nobody here watched WandaVision, I imagine. Are you happy with that nickname? Not really, but it's the best I can come up with right at this moment. Again, it's the music. It's the music that hits me. It's kind of insane how hard the music hits me. I don't know, by the way, how far I'm going to record this in advance, because of course I am busy. I do have a job. I do have other projects that I'm working on, so I can't play this entire thing in one sitting. Together with the fact that it's 10 PM as I'm recording this, I didn't want to wait until tomorrow, man. I wanted to at least get one episode recorded and done. But I'll probably start recording quite a bit in advance over the next few days. There's going to be 4 episodes of this a week, meaning that there's going to be daily uploads on the channel for a while. But I'm probably going to play like an hour a day for like the next week or two until I finish the game. So by the time you guys see episode 3, I have probably finished most of the game. Maybe I'll play more than an hour a day, because this is a game that I've been waiting for since before the Gen 3 remakes. Like, I was very excited about the Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I was very happy with those games. But really what happened there was, I can't wait for Hoenn remakes. That's going to be so fun. But that also means that Sinnoh remakes are going to be next. And we're fucking here now! I'm hyped. Okay. All the hype in the world. It's all good. It's all fun. Let's settle down for a moment here. Just mash through this dialogue and get started with our actual adventure. Because we have 3 captures to go through. The moment we go through this capturing tutorial, which... it's authentic, so they didn't give you the option to skip this, of course. I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. You did, didn't you? You know what, really? Yeah. Oh, I need to go to my mum first. That's right. Also, options. Text speed is going to go to fast. Window type. Let's see. What window type do we... Oh, battle effect. We definitely want that on, right? What window type do we want? These are the same. These are actually authentically the same as Gen 4 has. Do they have any specific... Oh, I like this one. I think I'm going to go with type 18. That being said, type 24 is kind of neat as well. I'm going to go with type 18. I like that one. Santa boxes. Sure, give nicknames. You can just... Okay, you can just turn off the nicknames altogether. Autosave. That's a really nice feature. Not for doing a Nuzlocke, because you can't cheat anymore if you do that. Show nicknames. You can also just give them and don't show them. Background music, sound effects. They actually have like sliders for this stuff right now, and that's impressing me a lot. Pokemon's almost like it's a real game now. Let's go back to our mum. Yeah, so we don't even... I'm still holding down the B button to run. You don't need to do that, is the thing. You can't see, but I'm holding my right hand up right now, and it's working perfectly. That's probably the single biggest... No, it's not the single biggest upgrade. I like the way Gen... I think 6 does it as well. At least Gen 7 does it this way. Having on the touchscreen... I know you don't have a touchscreen on this game specifically, but you could just like have a toggle button. Like the B button. I like being able to toggle sprint rather than just... This makes a lot more sense from like a general, like this is how games work in 2021, is you walk quickly when you use the analog stick to its max, and you walk slowly when you only push it a little bit. Thing is, a lot of people are going to play this on Joy-Cons because the Pro Controller is like a third of the price of the console itself, which is stupid. So a lot of people are going to have very bad analog sticks. Because as fun as the Joy-Cons are, number one, they're way too small. Number two, the analog sticks on them are fucking terrible. And altogether, they're just bad as a controller. The funnest motion control... Wait, what? I got my hat! Finally got my hat! I am a complete person again! I have my hat. His hair looked weird. His hair looked real weird. I'm so glad I don't have to look at my own hair anymore. Do I have Pokeballs yet? I'm certain that you get the Pokeballs after the Bianca tutorial, but maybe in this version of the game it's worth checking. Yeah, no, we don't have anything. Let's just run. If there's one thing I've learned from doing a lot of Nuzlockes over the years, is that you don't want to overlevel your first Pokemon before catching your second, because then you'll just kill all of your encounters and end up screwing yourself very, very big time. This is not a Nuzlocke, but we still have the capturing gimmick going on for us, so we definitely don't want to kill our encounters. Even though we get 3 opportunities for our first encounters here. Wish that we could skip this. We still want to capture all those 3, right? We don't want to waste those encounters if we can help it. So you're going to start with a Turtwig. I'm going to take a sip of water because there's nothing we can talk about right here, right now. Other than the fact that, what is you guys' favorite Sinnoh Pokemon? I'm not going to do like a question of the day type thing, because I've done that in the past and I end up just like failing on it more often than not. I just forget to ask them and I just only add them in the overlay in post. Or I do something very forceful, but like, right now, this is fun. It's the first episode. We're 20 minutes in. If you're watching this, you're engaged. Do leave a comment. What is your favorite Sinnoh Pokemon? For me, it's a difficult question because Sinnoh is, while it's not my first generation, that was Hoenn. Or first region, I should say, which, let's not get into that debate right now. I have way more nostalgia for Sinnoh than I do for Hoenn. Which is partly due to the fact that Gen 4 is the first generation that I experienced as a whole, probably, right? Because I started playing in Gen 3, so I played Emerald, and then I went back and played Fire Red, Leaf Green afterwards. But then Diamond and Pearl were released, and I distinctly remember playing Diamond and Pearl before they were released in Europe and the US. I downloaded I downloaded a Japanese ROM. There were fan translations to at least like make the moves understandable and stuff like that. So I downloaded I did this for Black and White too at the time. A Japanese ROM. And then when the game was released in I think when the game was released in America, because it was released in America, this wasn't a time where worldwide release just didn't happen. And even more so, because Europe has a lot of different language options oftentimes in these games. European... There's an immediate Pokeball. There's a Pokeball button. Best game ever. Because there had to be more translation that had to be done. There was generally like between half a month and an entire month between the American and European release. So I then downloaded the American ROM to start playing, and I then finally, when it came over to Europe, I bought the European release. And then I also, at some point, when I wanted to play the Palkia version, no, Pearl version, I bought that in like a, I don't even know, some other kind of like Asian region, which still had an English ROM on it, luckily. It wasn't Asian language or anything. Meaning that by the time Platinum was released, and with Platinum I did the same thing, right? I played the Japanese version first, then I played the start of the... I played the start of the American version, and then I bought the European version. So by the time I finished playing through Gen 4, and this is not even to mention Hard Gold Soul Silver, which was a lot more difficult to emulate, actually. I'm going to call you Sir Wingleton. Sir Wingleton. There we go. Is that gonna fit? Tien. Sir Wingleton. I could have just done as R. dot rather than fully out Sir. So by the time we finished with Gen 4 as a generation, I probably played through Sinnoh well over 10 times, at least partly every single time. I'm probably like at least 5 or 6 times completely. So yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia for the Sinnoh region as a whole. And we get an encounter here as well, so let's give me one. You give me a potion as well. Hold on. Is that going to be very relevant? No, but a free potion. I mean, why wouldn't you take it, right? Why wouldn't you? And we got a Bough. We have an HM slave. I don't know if HMs exist in this game. Did they reintroduce HMs? I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be so fucking mad if they put in the EXPO mechanic, but they also reintroduced HMs just to make it authentic. Nobody likes HMs! They better not have fucking put back HMs. I will write a strongly worded letter to Nintendo if they did. I mean, I won't, but I can say I won't. And we got a Bough. We're going to call you... I mean, we have to call you Mr. Doofus. Doofenshmirtz! We're going to call you Doofenshmirtz! I just need to look up real quick how to spell Doofenshmirtz. But we're definitely going to call you that. So, Doofenshmirtz. I don't know if that's going to... How many characters is that? Hold on, how many characters is that? We're going to go to character counter. Just because I can't be bothered to count them myself. That's 13 characters. Oh no! I guess it's going to be Doofenshmirtz. Because Doofenshmirtz will not fit. So we are going to drop an O there. And we're going to call you I'm still going to call you Doofenshmirtz, but it's spelled Doofenshmirtz. It's a really difficult name. I mean, I live next to Germany, I know, but it doesn't mean that I speak German. Or spell it at all. So we have Doofenshmirtz on our team, and we only have one more encounter for this episode to go, and I think I'm going to leave after we have that encounter done, because this is a nice little introduction. I've gotten the most like harsh nostalgia out of my system, so next time we can just like play Pokemon. Who am I kidding? I'm going to fanboy the entire way through this, because again, this is my childhood. Just give me this one. I already have a Doofenshmirtz, so I'm very sorry, Mr. Doofenshmirtz. Mr. Doofenshmirtz! Oh, that definitely wouldn't fit if Doofenshmirtz itself doesn't fit. A Cricketune. Okay, a Cricketot. It's gonna be a Cricketune before too long, though. What level am I by this point? Am I too high leveled? I think a Scratch shouldn't kill the Cricketot, but it might. Oh yeah, no, it definitely doesn't. The entire thing about Cricketot is that it uses Bite. So it's got a high HP or defense, probably HP. I'm going to just throw a ball. I'm going to throw a ball. You don't have a difficult catch rate, do you? 1, 2, 3. Okay, the zoom in on the wiggle effect, I get it, but it's a little too much, right? It's just a little too much. I like the static perspective better from the older games. And again, that's not just nostalgia, because I like the 3D models better now than the sprites. Did Pokemon need to go for 3D models? No. Am I happy a couple of years later down the line that they did? Yeah. Cricketot's name is going to be... Hold on, I didn't even check if... Did I call my Starly Sir Wingleton without checking its gender? I think I did. So we're going to call you... You are red and you sing. So I'm going to call you Kvothe. Because I've been rereading, listening to The Name of the Wind. And I fucking love that series. And the 3rd book just needs to be fucking finished sometime this century if at all possible. So that's going to do it for us today. How far are we into this recording? About 30 minutes, so that seems about fine. Next time we're going to start our real adventure here in the Sinnoh region in full 3D. I'll see you back then. Bye.